What's going on, everyone? John Matrix here. Hope you all are having yourselves a wonderful day wherever you're at and whenever you're watching this. We're going to be jumping into the SCP universe here with the Volgun. This was a video requested by one of my YouTube members. This is SCP 2966 InfiniTP Keter Thermodynamic SCP. Links will be down below in the description, as always, to the original video without my commentary interaction and to Volgun's channel. So please do me a favor, if you enjoy this video, please go over to the Volgun's channel, give it a like, and check out his content. If you're not familiar with the Volgun, he makes a lot of great content for the SCP universe. So yeah, check out his stuff and hit that sub button on his channel if you want to show him some love. Check out any kind of Patreon stuff he's got going on, any kind of YouTube membership stuff he's got going on, if you want to take your support for his channel to the next level. If you'd like to do so for my channel, there's a join button underneath the video, as well as a link in the description to the YouTube membership benefits and tiers that I offer, so you can check those out if you would like to. But regardless, thank you guys very much for just taking the time out of your busy day to come and hang out and watch the video. Hope you enjoy it. If you do, consider leaving a like and a sub, as it helps me and the channel grow. With all that said, let's jump into it here. Again, this is SCP 2966 InfiniTP Keter Thermodynamic SCP by the Volgun. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see what Dr. Miller has in store for us today.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Dr. Miller.
Dr.
And the
Miller.
SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-2966. Object Class, Keter.
It's a toilet dispenser. It's a thermodynamic toilet dispenser that's Keter class. Is this supposed to be an SCP-J? Or like what?
Special Containment Procedures. SCP-2966 is to be contained at Outpost...
Like, does it burn your butthole when you wipe with it or something? You know what I'm saying? It's like what? What's... I don't know.
117, and at no time shall any other SCP objects be contained with it. A liquid fluoride thorium reactor is to be powered at all times with the heat exchange directly in thermodynamic contact with SCP-2966's housing.
Jesus.
Before usage of SCP-2966, monitors will ensure that there are at least 2.04 times 10 to the power of 17 joules of heat energy available to thermodynamically transfer into SCP-2966's housing. During use, this heat energy transfer will be carefully monitored to match the rate of matter removal. A skeleton crew shall occupy Outpost 117 to minimize the risk of casualties. This crew...
So it's literally like a TP dispenser that's a nuclear bomb or something, dude? Like, what is happening?
Shall consist of 3 persons trained in the maintenance and upkeep of a liquid fluoride thorium reactor. 4 research personnel to monitor both SCP-2966's state and the state of the reactor. 2 4-man squads of security personnel to patrol a 25-kilometer perimeter around Outpost 117's location and deter civilian entrance, and 1 D-Class personnel to use SCP-2966.
Of course.
A D-Class shall use...
Like, I can imagine, you know that scene at the beginning of Terminator 2 where, like, Sarah Connor's sitting there and, like, bashing her hands against the fence and she gets nuked? And you see the waves of the nuke go over. Like, that's what I imagine. I imagine D-Class going into the bathroom and, like, taking a piece of this and just getting, like, nuked.
Use SCP-2966 3 times per day at 8-hour intervals, 0800, 1600, 2400, where use is defined as the removal of at least 10 sheets from SCP-2966. Use is to be heavily monitored, and contact shall be kept with the D-Class subject at all times during said use, in order to modulate the speed with which SCP-2966 is used. A regulator placed on the reactor shall accordingly adjust energy output to match inevitable changes in the rate at which SCP-2966 is used. A scale attached to SCP-2966's housing shall determine its mass at all times and relay said information to monitoring staff. Construction of an airstrip for jet aircraft is currently undergoing evaluation as a possible means of escape should SCP-2966 reach the critical stage, as well as a means for connection to larger adjacent Foundation sites.
So is it literally a situation where, like, if you don't take toilet paper from this dispenser within a certain amount of time, it literally goes nuclear? Is that what's happening?
Description: SCP-2966 is an anomalous roll of brand toilet paper. The roll currently averages a mass of around kilograms, though attempting to reduce this mass is discouraged as a result of Incident 2966-35-A. Toilet paper sheets removed from SCP-2966 are, beyond being incredibly effective at removing stray fecal matter, non-anomalous and energetically stable. The roll section of
Beyond being incredibly effective at removing fecal matter. That is not a sentence that I thought I would ever hear having to pertain to anything with an SCP. But here we are. And you're sure this isn't a J, right?
SCP-2966 is housed in a steel container attached to a wall mounting which has no means for accessing the roll for replacement or removal. Non-invasive testing of the housing has not yet yielded a clear picture of what is inside the housing, and invasive testing is discouraged due to SCP-2966's volatile nature. In addition, the housing serves as the main heat sink for the thermal transfer between SCP-2966 and the reactor. Damaging the thermodynamic connection may result in SCP-2966 going critical.
That would be bad.
SCP-2966 is anomalous in that it is effectively an infinite roll of toilet paper. Since
I mean, that would have been handy during the start of the pandemic, man, when toilet paper was sold out everywhere and people were going crazy. Infinite roll of toilet paper, baby. Ain't got to worry about it. Toilet paper for days. You start selling that, man. You can be rich. Think about that. Think about that. If you would have this like in your bathroom, this infinite roll of toilet paper, just sat there and just kept rolling it up. Just roll up bundles and bundles and bundles for days and start selling it on the black market. You got a black market toilet paper, dispensary going on. You know what I'm saying?
Containment started in
Marshall, Carter, and Dark would have been jealous how much money you'd have been making.
approximately kilometers of toilet paper has been removed from SCP-2966. No means of inputting mass or more toilet paper have been observed, and testing has revealed no temporal retrieval of additional paper from a different location or dimension. The mechanism by which SCP-2966 accomplishes this is entirely unknown, though
the dispenser itself. I wonder if this is like a replicator from Star Trek. You know what I mean? Like, because energy is not a thing that is a problem in the Star Trek universe. They have antimatter technology. They've mastered that. So essentially they have energy for days. So they have replicators that can just turn energy into any kind of matter you want. And this just happens to be a replicator that just pumps out toilet paper, I guess. I mean, think about that. Yeah. You'd never have to worry about replacing toilet paper dispensers. That's actually kind of a smart use of that technology if you think about it.
its effects are well understood. SCP-2966 obeys the laws of mass energy conservation, and through unknown means absorbs energy from its surroundings in order to create the matter that makes up the toilet paper. One sheet of SCP-2966 weighs approximately 3 grams, which means that approximately 2.04 times 10 to the power of 16 joules of energy, or roughly
Really?
65 tons of TNT, is needed for one sheet of SCP-2966 to be produced.
That's kind of crazy. 65 tons of TNT is needed for one sheet. I'm curious. How equivalent of TNT used in explosives during World War II? You're not. Okay. How much explosives were used in World War II? Usually they always 0.7 million tons of bombs. What's that equivalent to in TNT? I've heard that fact before, but it's not giving me that fact. That's the fact that I'm looking for. I've heard it before that there's an equivalent of a certain amount of tonnage of TNT was used, you know, in comparison to explosives during World War II, but it's not giving me that. Anyway, I was trying to like see what kind of comparison, like 65 tons of TNT is a lot. Anyway,
It is estimated that there are sheets formed within the roll of SCP-2966, or a yield of the megatons of TNT.
yeah.
If more than
Redacted.
10 sheets are removed at one time from SCP-2966, it will absorb the energy around it at roughly the rate at which sheets are removed. The form of energy absorbed is most often heat energy, though SCP
So could this thing like theoretically create an ice age, right? Like if you pulled enough sheets at one time and it just sucks the heat out of the air, could it literally like pull the heat out of the planet or something like that? You know what I mean? It's just a massive heat sink in order to make these sheets. Could you essentially kind of turn this into like a weather control device by like creating a blizzard by like removing a certain amount of sheets at a time or something?
SCP-2966 does not appear to have a preference. Testing has shown that ambient sound energy has also been decreased during use. Without an external source of energy to provide power to SCP-2966, the large amount of energy needed to form one sheet, 2.04 times 10 to the power of 16 joules,
At a
is
near
absorbed
absolute
from
zero.
the ambient heat of the surroundings, quickly bringing the temperature of all matter within a radius of meters to near absolute zero. This has happened twice during power failures. Both times, on-site staff have sacrificed themselves to remove 10 sheets, killing themselves through hypothermia instantly.
Can you imagine that's how you go? Can you imagine being stuck at some kind of facility and the critical thing that you have to do to save humanity is to run into a room and be frozen to death by pulling toilet paper sheets off of a roll? That's how you die. I mean, sacrifice has got to be made, I guess.
While not a sustainable containment solution, such a sacrifice has prevented SCP-2966 from going critical. If SCP-2966 is not used, it will begin to lose the matter it has gained, turned into energy once more at a rate given as n joules per second, where n is the number of minutes since last use. This energy is radiated away in the form of heat, and occasionally alpha particles. The optimum balance between usage and radiation has been determined to be slightly more than 8 hours, reflected in the special containment procedures. As this rate increases exponentially, SCP-2966 will reach a critical stage approximately hours after last use, in which the rate of energy radiation will rapidly approach infinity. Effectively,
Could this thing like literally destroy the universe? You're saying the rate of energy radiation will approach infinity. Are we sure this isn't like a K-class scenario potential thing, like causing thing? This sounds like this could be like a universe-ending thing potentially if it literally went out of control. Because it could just keep absorbing energy from everything around it in the universe.
this results in SCP-2966 converting its remaining mass entirely to energy in an instant. This is estimated to produce roughly 1 times 10 to the power joules of energy, or an explosion with a yield of megatons. Despite Outpost 117's remote location, a fully critical SCP-2966 situation is estimated to produce casualties in excess of what the Foundation is equipped to handle.
I mean, like, throw this in with the deer and let it absorb all the shit the deer sends out. You know what I'm saying? Like, let it suck all the juice out of the deer to make toilet paper or something. You know what I mean?
During usage of SCP-2966, D-Class subjects have reported an occasional decrease in room temperature. D-Class have also reported that the paper removed from SCP-2966 is exceptionally comfortable, effective, and strong.
Okay, I mean,
Requests for
you would hope so. You would hope if this thing requires, 65 tons worth of TNT, like the energy equivalent of that, to make a sheet of toilet paper. You would hope it would be strong, comfortable, and durable, and effective at, absorbing fecal matter.
sheets removed from SCP-2966 to be re-rolled
For real.
and used at Foundation facilities have been denied. 2966 Recovery Log. SCP-2966 was discovered after Foundation agents noticed an anomalous temperature drop in CA from data recorded by the National Weather Service. A subsequent investigation by Mobile Task Force Theta-19, Rocketeers, revealed that one Pine Range research had been frozen over in an area of about 1 kilometer square, despite it being a warm summer day. Data returned by MTF Theta-19 indicates that the temperature of the area had been approximately minus 108 degrees Celsius,
Jesus.
far lower than any temperature naturally recorded on Earth. As to why the area was not absolute zero, research has suggested that the usage of SCP-2966 had occurred several hours earlier, in which the sun had time to warm the area.
So, I mean, you would think, right, that a massive cold blip like that, where a 1 kilometer squared area would literally have turned to absolute zero. Like, you would think that would be some kind of meteorological event that would show up on, like, radar scans that some kind of weather service would pick up, right? Because that would be, and it would probably happen like instantly, right? From what this is saying.
MTF Theta-19 breached the building and found that all present in the building had been killed as a result of the temperature drop. A researcher later identified as Dr. was discovered after apparently giving a demonstration to several others holding SCP-2966. The effects of SCP-2966 rendered all electronics within the site corrupted, thus no data could be obtained as to how SCP-2966 was created. However, MTF Theta-19 did discover a handwritten journal belonging to Dr. in his office.
Like, I would have to ask this person, right? Like, what is, like, why? Why would you create this? Like, if you have the knowledge of, like, physics and thermodynamics and engineering to build a device like this, why just have it make toilet paper? Or was this like a beta test thing, right? Was this like a prototype for something bigger, I guess, maybe? But even still, why would you make it toilet paper? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you have it like produce water or some other kind of resource that would have a greater purpose, right? Other than toilet paper. I'm still not sure if this isn't supposed to be a J.
And while the pages were covered in frost, parts of the journal were recovered and able to be read. See document 2966-01. Several locals had noticed the rapid temperature drop.
Yeah.
A cover story of a ruptured liquid nitrogen tank was disseminated, and Class A amnestics administered.
Liquid nitrogen doesn't do that, though.
SCP-2966 was studied in situ in the following hours after a secure perimeter had been established, its properties determined, and successfully contained. Document 2966-01.
Today we have achieved a breakthrough in toilet paper technology. Not a single man will need to feel the burning pain of an uncleaned nether region ever again. Moreover, this will likely make me exceedingly rich once we figure out how to make other paper products, like tissues, and maybe even plates. A minor setback has occurred with the InfiniTP project. We can't produce cellulose fibers fast enough to make a truly infinite roll. A possible solution is the liberal application of halved hafnium, otherwise known as quaternium. While exceedingly rare and expensive, sacrifices must be made in the pursuit of science.
He's mad, I tell you, mad.
While the others call me a fool, I think that in this day and age, anyone with a doctorate should be able to understand others' work, even if it's in a different branch. That's just good science. If you can write well enough for the layman to understand, who cares if I'm a botanist? I should be able to decipher Dr. paper on quaternium.
Note: no such element known as quaternium exists.
Yeah.
The housing is complete. We've added the initial paper, and soon, the quaternium alloy will be complete for insertion into the hyperbaric containment field. Of course, the Yotta rays have proven themselves to be an issue, but they shouldn't terribly hamper the reduction of the fermium pairs.
Note: the rest of the entry is illegible.
I mean, man's talking all kinds of stuff here. Yoda rays. Fermium Paris. Okay. Whatever, brother. Got the Star Trek talk going on.
The threshold energy for the fermium pair production is slightly higher than my calculations suggest. No matter. I'll just rework the calculations with Fermi estimation, and that should put us in a good place to test tomorrow. Soon, the world will never need toilet paper again.
I feel like this had to have been released like during the COVID times, right? Like this had to have been a story released then when the toilet paper rush was going on, right? Like the toilet paper gold rush was happening and everyone was like going crazy for it. And so someone like made this story about an infinitely, mad scientist created this infinitely dispensable toilet paper thing that could destroy the world.
Note: after this entry are several partially legible equations solved by hand. Thorough hand calculations were done by Foundation physicists with the same constants, which revealed that Dr. apparently misplaced the square in E equals mc squared early in his work. This led to substantially lower energies than in reality, possibly reinforcing Dr. idea that he could create matter from energy safely.
How do you misplace the square in E equals mc squared? That's like the most famous equation ever.
Incident 2966-35A. On Test 2966-35A was conducted, an attempt to see if a reduction in mass could be achieved by rapid removal of SCP-2966 sheets while supplying an excess of energy. This resulted in SCP-2966 immediately going critical. The subsequent energy release times 10 to the power of joules destroyed Outpost 117 and resulted in casualties. Due to Outpost 117's remote location, no non-Foundation casualties were reported. SCP-2966 was recovered unharmed and weighed grams less. Outpost 117 has since been rebuilt and containment re-established. Indestructible lizards, living masks, skinny dudes who don't like their faces looked at. The weirdest shit you could possibly imagine. And I'm doing a lecture on infinity toilet paper. I love my job sometimes. Anyway, I think that about does it for today. Thank you all for listening, if indeed you still are, and you are all dismissed.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Dr. Miller. This article is written by WWF Lineage. I don't know. That's the name. July 1st, 2016. Okay, so this was before even the COVID times. He was ahead of his time. He saw the COVID time, or they saw the COVID times coming. They knew it. They knew it was happening. But yeah, links will be down below in the description as always. This was SCP 2966 InfiniTP Thermodynamic SCP by the Volgun. So yeah, links will be down below. Go check out his channel. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like. If you are unfamiliar with his content, he makes a lot of great content for the SCP universe. So please go to his channel, check out all of his stuff. If you enjoy his content, hit that sub button, check out his Patreon, check out any kind of YouTube memberships he's got going on if you want to give him some extra support. I mean, interesting idea. It's just, you know, I really do still feel like this was meant to be like an SCPJ, but then he kind of swerved and I guess like made it a little bit more serious. But I mean, like, again, my question as we went through this is like, why just toilet paper? Why not something that is a resource that would actually like have more of a benefit to mankind, you know, something that can infinitely create clean, clear, cool water, or water at whatever temperature you want, or you know, some kind of food resource, something, you know what I mean? I don't know, but that's the SCP Foundation for you, man. That's the foundation for you. So another great video by the Volgun. Thank you guys for watching. If you'd like to join us when I do these reactions live, as I am right now with my YouTube members, there was a join button underneath the video, as well as a link in the description to the YouTube membership benefits and tiers that I offer. We'd love to have you guys come in and hang out and join us as we have our discussions before, during, and after the videos. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you're all having yourselves a wonderful day. Consider leaving a like and a sub if you enjoyed this video, mine with my commentary and reaction. We'll see you guys in the next one.